Hi, I'm Dre. I'm your mindset coach and mentor of change, and I'm going to walk you into another one of our Thursday workshops. Today, we look at understanding the power of viewing your challenges as an opportunity. This is going to kick off our month of November, where we're going to focus on our growth mindset and just ways for us to break through that glass ceiling so that we're able to accomplish the overall goals and objectives and the purpose that we have set for our life. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about 3 specific strategies that you can use to help you kind of reframe the way that you look at obstacles and challenges so that you're able to understand that they are a sign of growth, that it is truly a good thing. And I know you're probably thinking like, whoa, Dre, are you trying to tell me it is a good thing that I face challenges? And yeah, I genuinely am. I look at challenges kind of in the way that maybe a little bit outside of the norm, but I genuinely see them as someone willing to do something that maybe they're uncomfortable with. We all know exactly what we can do to have a life that has no challenges and no obstacles. And generally speaking, that life is a very safe and almost boring life. I don't want to use the word, but that's the only word I can think of, so you just bear with me if you disagree with me. But what I do want you to understand is I want to encourage you. I want to help you to look at failures and challenges as a way that it is a positive sign of your growth. Now, there are stories and examples where I'm thinking of one where this parent, where every time the kid falls, they all like scream and celebrate. And as a result, now every time the kid messes up, this kid like smiles and gets excited. And I don't think that I can maybe trick you into that at your current age, but I do want you to understand that that is a good thing, that it is not a coincidence that kids and the way they absorb information and the way that they can learn languages and everything else is because kids don't have a negative association with failure. Whenever a kid falls down, they just get back up. They don't even think twice about it. And if you've ever been boggled by a kid, then you understand that most of the time they do exactly what they just got hurt doing. And it's an amazing thing. And it's sad that some of us teach our kids that this is not something that you should be doing. And it's even a change that I've made over the life of my 4 daughters, where I've become more flexible, where instead of saying, hey, that's a sign that maybe you shouldn't do that, now I say, we fall down to get back up. And you find that when you don't have negative associations with failure, when you have no sort of fears and self-doubt, that the beliefs that you hold are, I can do this, I just have to try again. And it's a pretty powerful place to be. And that is where I want to get you at as we move into the growth mindset in the month of November and we prepare for the execution mindset as we get ready for the new year. And there are a couple of exciting things that I do want to mention to you. First and foremost, if you go to forecasthope.com, it's going to redirect you to forecasthope.com. And I have a free membership site for you. On this site will be all of the audios and videos and articles and everything that is focused on helping you become the champion of your dream life. And it is pretty exciting when you really think about it. Now, there will be like upgrades where you can have like personal customized coaching, or you have the ability to take some online courses that I'm working on right now. But there's going to be tons of information, including and a community forum that is going to be outside of Facebook, and I'm going to try to encourage you guys to go there. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to release anything that I have in there first. So if that is the weekly podcast, or if that is one of my videos and workshops that we're doing right now, it is going to go in the community first. And so I want you to go in there and see the video. And if you just have a free membership, you're going to find that you're able to kind of network and connect with people. And I'll also be in there more often so that I'm able to answer your questions, and we're really able to help you to become the champion of your dream life. On that note, let's just go ahead and get started. So within the 3 techniques that I want you to implement so that you're able to accomplish the goals and resolutions that you set for yourself and you're able to become the champion of your dream life, number 1, I want you to look at challenges and failure and setbacks as just part of the process. And what I mean by that is there is a general balance in life. And you'll find that if you want to have a heads when you flip a coin, then you have to accept the fact that you're going to have some tails. If you want to experience life, then you have to accept that there's death. Love, hate, if you really think about it, when it comes to change, you're going to have to accept failure. When it comes to courage, you have to accept fear. When it comes to success, you have to accept setbacks and failures. And I often find that within the people I'm working with, if you are avoiding failure, then you are avoiding success. And it's because they're two halves of the same coin. There is no way that you can avoid one without avoiding the other. And so I really want you to understand that these failures and setbacks are a part of the process. They are not a sign that this was not meant for you, nor are they a sign that you messed up in some way. They are simply a sign that you were trying to do something amazing. And if you continue on that journey, I guarantee you that you will get there. But it is the self-doubts, these fears that our false beliefs bring into our subconscious that make it difficult for us to continue. If there is anything about your life that you are not super excited about, then it is a false belief somewhere that is creating the life that you have today. And so we would have to find out what that belief is. And I've actually gotten pretty good at it. And so if it's one of those things that maybe you just want some help with, I do offer a 2-hour, not 30 minutes, not 20 minutes, not 1 hour, but a 2-hour Conquer Your Fears and Self-Doubt coaching session. And the reason I do that is because when I did do the 30 minutes, we just really were scratching the surface. In my mind, if I'm able to give you 2 free hours and you're able to have everything you need to accomplish everything that you want, God bless you. That's awesome. If for some reason there are a few extra things and you maybe want to continue this coaching relationship, well, that's fine too. It's just one of those things that I really want to give back to you guys. I'm super excited, and I did set the goal where I wanted to touch 100 lives this year, and we're on a great pace for that. And so I just want to encourage you guys, if there is something that you want to work on, you can either go to youforecasthope.com, which will have the link at the top, or you can just go to youforecasthope.com/coaching, and you'll be able to learn more there. So anyways, we'll move on to number 2, which is focusing on the improvement. What often happens whenever we have these setbacks is we immediately start to think like, man, I knew I shouldn't have done this. What was I thinking? I should have just played it safe, stayed in my comfort zone. It's so comfy in there. But if you focus on the improvement, and I really touch on this in my book, Champion to Change, and it's called the Law of Catalyst. And the Law of Catalyst is very simple. Your objective is to create positive event stacking. And what that is every time something bad happens, your next best decision should be the next best decision. Don't worry about the last decision. Don't worry about the decision 3 years ago. Don't worry about what your family or your friends told you would happen. Just make the next best decision with the information that you have right now. And if you do that, you will find that in the end, you're going to be exactly where you need to be. And it may not be where you thought you were going to land when you first started, but you will find it is exactly where you need to be. And so you really want to just have the mindset that whatever ends up happening, I'm going to look at this as an opportunity to improve. And so in the example of you like driving along and you get lost and you're like, oh man, I can't believe I'm lost. What am I going to do? If you're focused on the improvement, you're just simply going to come up with the next best decision. And in the year that we're in, right, most likely you'll just say, okay, let me turn on my phone and use my GPS. If I use my GPS, it's going to get me exactly where I need to be. And oh, by the way, I'll make sure I use my GPS going forward before I start any more trips. That way I'll make sure that I'm always focusing on the improvement. And so it's one of those cool things that if you really just say, okay, I maybe didn't make the best decision to get here, but I'm going to make the best decision right now. And as long as you always do that, then I think you're going to be awesome. And number 3, I just want you to focus on the here and now. I want you to stay present in the moment. Continuing on the example that we just did about driving and getting lost, if you are starting to feel any sort of anxiety, any sort of fear and self-doubt, then it means that you're not in the present. Because in the present, it is just a challenge, and I'm going to make the best decision that I can. I.e., in our example, I'm lost. Okay, I'll find directions, whether that's a map or a GPS or asking someone. If you move into the past, then you're going to start feeling the self-doubt because you're going to be telling yourself, every time you drive, you always get lost. You know that you're no good at this. It's something that you should just give up on. You should just get like an Uber or a Lyft. You should never drive again. You're such a klutz. You never plan well and you're always late. And naturally, if you're telling yourself these kind of things, then it only seems natural that you're going to start feeling anxious and anxiety and self-doubt. And the same is also true if you're moving into the future. If you're in the future, you're going to say, well, if I don't figure out where I'm at, I'm going to run out of gas. And if I run out of gas on the wrong side of town and my battery dies, then I'm really stuck and I'm up the creek without a paddle. And I just saw on the news that someone who got lost, they were knocking on doors and they got shot because they were mistaken for a criminal. So I may die if I don't figure out a way to get back where I need to be. And then naturally, as you would imagine, if you're in the future and you're thinking these things, then they're going to create all sorts of fears and self-doubt, where you have the fear of losing control and you have the fear of inadequacy, you just have the fear of uncertainty. And you really understand that this is going to make it very difficult for you to make the next best decision. It also makes it very difficult for you to understand that the other side of this coin is an opportunity for you to make some sort of a change, some sort of an improvement for the better. If you stay in the present, then you don't allow yourself to think of any of this outside of what am I going to do next? Because that's really all that matters when you think about it. Sure, I'm lost and maybe that was my fault or it was someone else's fault or I tried to do everything right. Instead of us playing the blame game, instead of us worrying about what we're going to do, let's just go ahead and just assess the situation exactly as it is. Let's make the best decision that we can make and let's move forward. And you'll find that if you could just stay present in the moment and focus on that, that you're going to be able to make the better decision like 9 out of 10 times. And that is not quite a study, but I could link it if you force me. I can link to the study that talks about what's called the if-then formula. And the way it goes is you just make a plan ahead of time for whenever you're in a situation that you don't want to be in. Let's say that you have a temptation of eating like tons and tons of candy, and you always go to this one house and they have this huge candy jar and you never are able to avoid the temptation. So when you make an if-then plan, you'll be like, if I go to Sally's house, then I will ask her to put the candy jar away. And the studies show that it's like a 300% increase if you're able to just put an if-then plan in place. Because now your body's operating on autopilot, and instead of you worrying about how am I going to react or trying to use willpower and discipline, which I discourage you because they're exhaustible resources, instead you just have the plan, you act accordingly, and you just move on. And so if you think of it that way, then sure, staying present in the moment allows you to be able to just make the best decision, and you don't stress yourself out and worry about what the future holds, and you don't hold and guilt yourself against what the past holds. And it's a pretty powerful place for you to be. That is part of the reason that I'm always telling you to act. Action is the cure for fears and self-doubt. When you're experiencing these fears and doubts, it is because you haven't done anything yet. And you're only thinking and continuing to focus on what may happen. But if you start acting, move back into the present, then you'll find that you're able to kind of get past a lot of these objections, right? The idea is not that I never feel fear. The idea is that I'm able to act even though I'm afraid, that I'm able to find courage even though I'm not sure. And that's what we really want to focus on. And if you're not 100% sure how to refocus yourself, how to recenter yourself so that you're able to stay in the present moment, one of the cool techniques that I like to use is when you just focus on your 5 senses. Because your 5 senses are always within the present moment. So if you focus on what you're looking at, what the weather feels like, or what the ground feels like, clothes feels like, the clothes is actually one of the ones that I like to do. Because if you think about it, even though you wear clothes and because you wear them all the time, you don't actually feel the clothes on you whenever you're wearing like generally the same like cotton if you wear cotton all the time. But if you put something like a polyester or a wool, then you'll be like, whoa, I feel like itchy or I feel like sweaty. Well, that's just because it's a different texture, so you're actually able to notice it. So what I do is I just purposely bring myself back to present by acknowledging the clothes that I'm wearing and the feeling of the weight and maybe the flexibility or the looseness that they are on me, and it helps me a lot. And then I feel kind of even the way that my foot is hitting the ground, where I may feel the texture of the ground, or maybe I'll feel the pressure of it or something like that where I'm just landing. And you'll find that whenever you're able to do this stuff, anytime you're able to activate one of your senses, that it's going to bring you into the current moment because your senses are always in the here and now. So I hope you enjoy that cool trick. And on that is going to be it for today. So I just really want to hope that you're able to use these 3 techniques, that you're able to start seeing challenges as opportunities as we focus in the month of November on breaking through that glass ceiling. And I always think for a time, if you have not yet, go to forecasthope.com or youforecasthope.com, sign up for a free membership, get all the free content. I'll give you free resources as well when I make them. And I'm in there on a regular basis to just kind of talk to you guys and ask you any questions and answer your other questions. I'm always thankful for our time together. Until next time, continue blessings on your journey to become the champion of your dream life.